A very important skill being assessed in a group discussion is your ability to communicate effectively. Communication is an individual's ability to connect with the group, and this connect is being measured in two ways, verbal and non-verbal. Verbal connect is further assessed through the following parameters. Number 1, fluency. Number 2, articulation. Number 3, modulation. Fluency is your ability to speak without any gaps whatsoever. Fluency is your ability to speak continuously at a stretch. Now, this, however, should not be confused with rate of speech. Rate is about the number of words per unit time, whereas fluency is about a smooth and continuous speech without those undesirable gaps, because these gaps become opportunities for others to pitch in and take the floor away from you. Number 2 is articulation. Articulation is clarity of speech. It is your ability to speak clearly and avoid mincing up words. Number 3 is modulation. Modulation is a variation in the pitch of your voice. If you are speaking in a monotone, if you are speaking at the same pitch, your communication, your verbal communication becomes boring and is not able to have a grasp over the audience. The minute you are able to modulate it, you are able to create an interesting pitch in your voice, and this is how you are able to connect better with people. For example, when you enter the discussion, we typically advise you to pitch up your voice, and once you are there, you get your pitch down. This variation in pitch will create a desired impact on the group. Let's look at the other side, which is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is about your body language. However, we need to keep the following points in mind while understanding the challenges there. Number 1, energy and enthusiasm. Your non-verbal communication should be such that you reflect energy and you reflect involvement. Someone who is not interested, someone who is indifferent, is not required in an organization. And therefore, energy, which is the capacity to do work, becomes a very important parameter for assessing you positively in your ability to contribute effectively to an organization. Number 2 is eye contact. You have to ensure that you're looking at everybody in the group. However, everybody will not get the same attention. Your attention has to be split depending upon the way in which people contribute. For example, one principle which we can use to probably understand eye contact is the 70-30 principle. The 70-30 principle says that 70% of the time we look at the key speakers in the discussion. However, the balance 30% we also look at those people who have not been participating. For example, you are sitting at number 2 in a group which has 11 people. Now, suppose there is no participation from number 1, and the dominant participation comes from 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think you would be tempted to look predominantly at 8, 9, 10, 11 and completely overlook number 1. This is not to be done. You have to ensure that whereas majority of your eye contact is probably covering 8, 9, 10, 11, you are still able to look at number 1 at points where either you don't want a response from anybody, or at points where you think that you need to give due respect to everybody in the group. So eye contact will definitely put forward your ability to respect all participants in the group. Number three is gestures. Gestures, of course, we all understand that while speaking, we need to gesticulate, we need a certain limb movement to feel comfortable and put our points across effectively. However, if you overdo this, it comes across as being hyper, and this is something which they may not desire. This is something which puts you across as an impulsive person. On the other hand, if you underplay this totally, it comes across as someone who is too stiff with respect to his or her ability to express. So the proper amount of gesticulation is important for you to make a favorable point in the group discussion. The fourth point there, which sums up everything, is poise. P-O-I-S-E. Poise is about your overall composure. Poise is about your overall peace and still motivated enough to participate effectively in the group discussion. So I think if we look at the two challenges there, verbal communication is important from a perspective of fluency, articulation, modulation, and non-verbal communication is important with respect to energy, enthusiasm, eye contact, posture, and overall